Hello everybody, my name is David, but you can call me Rev, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last episode, we made it over here to where we met our crew, which has left us confused more than anything. They're like a little bunch of little bunny people. Like, I didn't even know what to say at first, but I feel like they're a reference to another Final Fantasy title, and I just can't think of the name. But you know what? They're here to help us, and we are going to help them by, first and foremost, letting them know that their knowledge of who we are as people is completely outdated. Right then, now that you're here, you need to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly. Won't be long before the final days are upon us and all their terrible grandeur. So it's imperative that we must be prepared to receive our passioners to be. If there's anything at all that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. And address it we shall. Here at the Best Ways Borough, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. Ahem. We have produced myriad anemones we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I didn't mean to double tap A there. Alright, she does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of Etheirys rotting to its core being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Nevertheless, let's take this opportunity to learn more of the Loprites in this vessel. I don't know why I haven't been able to speak today. I think my brain just shut down after the conclusion of Yakuza. And honestly, I don't blame my brain, but at the same time, I took a break. I played some TFT. I got first place in the match that I played. I should not be this, like, broken. Welcome to the Curatorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of food staff production. Cooking Way. Pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many, many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we've received. Why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we've also considered the ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have freshly stocked, recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up, and we were all quite famished. Hop along the platforms here, and you'll find a storage unit full to the bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you'd like. Honestly, I was going to say, the last time we legitimately ate was when we were back in Charlian. And we have been... Actually, no. I would say that last time we ate was actually in Garlemald. Probably. I think. After we got, like, our body back, probably. Just to kind of recover. But honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but those are some colorful carrots. Let's take the ominous crimson carrot. So we just, I don't know. I wonder if the response is different for each color type. Oh no. Oh, this is not going to be good. Luckily, we have the mouse to... Oh. Oh no, not indigestion. Wait, so... I guess it did bring us... good? I guess? What'd you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The iron carrot can be difficult to digest, but the boost to endurance it promises makes it a perfect meal before a day of heavy lifting. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. But what if I don't like carrots? Yeah, Vendor doesn't like carrots. I enjoy carrots though. Oh, you don't like carrots? Oh, you must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Worry not. We have pureed versions on hand if you don't have the time to chew. I take it you two have a wide assortment of carrots to choose from and not else? Please, someone's, like, interject and save me. If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about the cuisine on Etheirys? Surely you're aware we have abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate. Of course we are, but well, it was only recently that we established contact. Even holding conversation was a struggle at first, so imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instruction. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, it would have been a loss of where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it'd be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency. And what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? A rather strange approach to take from one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When we were first created, we were all named in the old tongue. You know, the otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present continuous verb conjunctions, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore dost thou deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though, if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Etheirys as well, you should offer the passengers a much more balanced diet. And so such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there is not but carrots on the menu. I mean, carrots are carrots. Not much more we can do about that. Oh well. I think we've had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to the other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. Final Fantasy 5? No, it has to be. Wait, no. Duh, it's FF4. Because let's say FF4 is the one where they reference the moon. Here we are at the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Hayden, infinite wisdom, bless us with the self-same affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra vise we need. My, how wonderful. Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You'll also be impressed to hear we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession, for the sake of efficiency, I assume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. But why not take my work on it when you could simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers and they'll see to the rest. I'm not sure this is a good idea. Because the way that I see it, I was about to say, most of the clothes that they've given us from the plot, I think the only one that I really liked was the Scion Adventure outfit from way back in Realm Reborn. Also, why are these robots still trying to kill us? Like, we're good guys here. But I guess for these areas where as big as they are, it wouldn't make sense. Ah, it's you, one of the visitors from Etheirys. Goodness me, Mapping Way wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. All right, you're gonna try on a set of clothes, yeah? What would you have me fashion for you today? Something simple yet functional. Simple and functional. Right. This will only take a moment. I'm scared. Because things already are very difficult to put on, like... I like the helmet. There we are. All finished. A perfect fit, if I do say so myself. Nothing too below your Philly, as you can see. Also light and durable. Should serve you well wherever your travels might take you. Like I said, I like the helmet. Would you look at that? Speechless. And there I thought you may not like it. If you're in mind to try something else, why not speak to my fellow artisans? I'm sure they're happy to be obliged. Oh. So this is a buff. How wonderful. So I have to stay like this for at least a moment. All right, let's see. Oh, no one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You should try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. I almost keep eating my microphone because I was so used to it being farther away from my face. And now that it's right here, I keep just bumping into the thing. This thing. Some of my best work yet. You're a strange one, aren't you? I honestly wasn't sure what to do when you didn't ask for anything specific. I take my work seriously, however, and am never one to disappoint. That ensemble is a blend of concepts from myriad professions, all-purpose attire for the modern man of theorists. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to proof, it looks stunning on you. Why don't you go and show Living Way? I'm sure she's eager to see what we've come up with. I'm hurt. At least, I will say at the very minimum, at least it looks like it does fit my character properly. Because one of my issues with playing a male Rogadin is that a lot of the different outfits and the different attires always end up looking notably bigger on me compared to that of many of the other races. And it does make it a little bit frustrating to find outfits that feel and look right. So, you know, it's something that I work on regularly. My, don't we look splendid? The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and we lobrites in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. Yikes. Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insisted we sample all their concepts they returned. Verity, it's an ensemble almost becoming. Yeah, nobody really likes these. Just unanimous, just, I think it's past time we return these clothes. That was like the most collective, unanimous nope I've seen. I was about to say. I was so confident our garments would meet with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher told us that, in his time, everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern taste by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... See, please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. If we resort to evacuating the people of Theris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. It is clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand we are not quite so homogenous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my taste, even if it is of inferior make. Why do that? But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and the diversity of your people. Even if we memorized every tome we received, I doubt we would fare much better. Maybe you're doing a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree, people who prefer to keep others at arm's length even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source well? Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Hyladin's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on the star and that star alone has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Living Way, might we leave to explore Best Ways Burrow unattended? You've given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. Man, those clothes were a mess. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a little longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wanted to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? So, who am I going with? Am I going with Yashola Therankrid in them, or am I with, I almost called him Athenian, Urianjay, and, oh. Maybe I have something else to do. All right, what are you doing here, little person? Ah, my apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Aetheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we made a mess of things. Oh, but wait. You still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is. I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. The way that they're making me walk so far, I'm going to scream. I'll meet you guys back over yonder because, wait a minute. I have a brain. I'm smart. You're here. You're really here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? Name's Vinder. Vinder Amel. Vinder Amel, eh? Crikey. Even your names are amazing. Well, Vinder, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready. Wonder what's in the residential area.
Ready in the teleporter.
Oh, it's voiced. I don't think it's supposed to do that.
Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Why is it always me?
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting.
Well, it's 'cause everybody's different, really.
If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action.
That's fair.
This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Aetheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, You could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work.
But he was the one who delivered the message that the nicest.
Pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Ah, idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
Thank you for cliffhangering me, by the way. I feel like Ryanja would be the type to help them, though. But thank you, Growing Wave, for messing me up just then. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I'd rather the teleporter to travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. Huh. Shame you can't see it though. You really would have liked it. Thank you. It's gonna be so nice. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning this for far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we've woken up, we've had long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But one thing we all agreed on was that the people of Theris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had your look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you on the east side of the borough. Follow me. Sir, I'm not going to follow you through that way. I'm taking this teleporter. Good you're here. Through this door is the greatest End's Vale. It was named as such because it was a veil to end all veils, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Theris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I always start with a nice stroll to the fountain. This way. Alright, so you got a full forest in here too? These guys really do be wilding out with all this. But that's okay though. I wouldn't necessarily call this natural. I thought this was actually going to be like a forest. But as we can see, their interpretations of what the people of Aetheris may or may not like tends to look a little different. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing though, because different just means different, not necessarily good or bad. So as long as, you know, Everyone's happy. Okay, I thought that this was a straight up and down. Like, my depth perception was so bad there, I thought that we had to go, like, through a different way. So, what'd you think of the forest? It's positively pleasant, simply sublime. Alright, just as transcendent as burying your face in a chocobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. You really think so? Truly? Hearing you say that means more to me than you know. Personally, I'd say this place is the pride of the borough. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you'd find in the forest on Aetheris. The fountain here behind us, powered by a rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and dare say, the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. Looks like you can do with the stretch yourself. Luckily, this is why I also play the PC version. I was about to say, I said /stretch. Why did it? I don't know. But a good stretch. That's the spirit. I feel simply more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone from Theris. Could we maybe go for it? All right, let's have Growing Way accompany us. I'll say this is a little wholesome because it's supposed to like you said, homie's never really seen anybody from our world before, and even though we're not like walking side by side, and he's just kind of chasing behind us, I think he's gonna be happy that we're doing this. I was thinking, Vendor, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Hyland gave us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Hyland shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyways, let's get going. Is that someone's asylum over there? Or is that's a flavor text spot. Okay, I'll go get the flavor text. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd start sooner. Who would have thought we needed 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was a brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aetheris, the Allegan's mischief. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do is stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Hyland informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. We're getting, like, I was going to say, the amount of lore that we've gotten in this expansion has been absolutely crazy. Say, did you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals. And not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the golden spheres. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a similar role to our sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from the energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest is truly the greatest. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh right, the propulsion systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Aetheris. Why not go and visit Aetheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Where our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil deeds, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fear we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Aetheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and through her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew it. You would like the greatest Endwalker. I knew it. Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you've already received the grand tour. Shame we missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporters to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you're all more than welcome to continue looking around the borough. Now come along, Growing Way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of importance? We learned a lot about how everything came to be and what Heidelin was making them do. They've spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand the restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are no yet signs of the final date. What's more, the technology of this place defines imagination. I doubt there are many who could readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcefully evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. I don't know. For me, if the world was ending and I had to get on a moon ship and find another world, I'd get on the moon ship. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, I can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary. You will excuse me. I know a bit of that conversation. I know something you don't. I know something you don't. It's clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I'm not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections. And I trust that I'm not alone in my reticence. But I think we'll figure out what Thancred has to say in the next one, because we are at 40 minutes, and even with editing, this is still probably going to be a longer one. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping on in and watching the video. And if you guys haven't already, you should peep the description down below. Check out all my socials and my Discord. And that's all from me. So I'll see you guys in the next one. What? No, I'm not sure what it is you do with the crystals on Aetheris, but we don't eat them, and definitely not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Heidelden's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Aetheris. Conjuring of fire was would sooner dry your clothes out than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiark in check.